Hello, how you doing? This is Ikenke from Blue Steel Auto School. Today we're gonna discuss something that is not done on the road test. We've covered most of the stuff that's on the road test, but there's more things to driving than just what's on the road test. If you notice, especially if you've had professional lessons before, typically you don't work on parking on the left side before the test because they don't do left side parking on the test. They do right side parking on the test. But in real life, if you live on a one-way street or if you go to visit somebody on a one-way street, the only parking available might be on the left side. Right? So if that's the case, what does that mean? You're not gonna be able to park. Now if you understand how to park on the right side, supposedly the right side overall is a little bit harder than the left side, which is why they choose to do the right side on the test, because you're sitting on the left side, so it's easier for you to see what's going on, right? But still, it's something that takes practice. So if you've been practicing right side, then the left side is going to be harder for you if you haven't done it, right? It's just just kind of doing the opposite, right? With just a couple of minor differences, not much, right? So when you would normally turn to the right, you turn to the left. When you would normally turn to the left, you turn to the right. Still the way I teach is the first turn is one turn, subsequent turns are a near lock. You just have to understand your reference points. You get to your reference points and you always go through gear, signal, wheel, look. You've heard that before from our previous videos. So of course you're going to be in reverse. If you're parking on the left, you're going to signal left instead of right. Your wheel is still going to be straight at first so that you can come back a little bit, and you're still trying to line up the back of your back door to the back of their car. It's actually a little harder to see that from the left side, so you can, for most cars, not for every single car, you can use the mirror to the front door handle technique, right? And then, like I said, instead of one turn to the right, one turn to the left, you get to the same 45-degree angle. The reference point with the mirror to the car is a little different. You get your mirror to the edge of the car, right? Try to get to that 45 degrees. Bumper to the curb, tire a couple of feet from the curb, and you almost lock it to the right and come in. And of course, throughout the whole time, you're always observing. Remember, when you're parking, whether it's right side or left side, the other traffic has the right of way. You have to remember that other traffic has the right of way, so you have to be observant. And if something is coming, especially when you're swinging out, you have to stop and wait unless they tell you it's okay to go. All right. So we're gonna see how this works. Okay, so I'm gonna pull away from where I am and pull over next to a car. All right. So you remember from previous videos, this time I'm on the left side though. But it's gear, signal, turn the wheel, and then you check your mirror and your blind spot. You can't see me doing that right now, but just trust that's what I did. I never leave the curb without looking. Alright. And then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna find a spot. Alright. Okay, I see a spot up ahead here. Ideally this is next to my next student. Alright, I'm gonna pull over next to this gold car, so I'm signaling left, looking, and I'm pulling over slowly. You gotta press and hold the brake near the bottom and approach slow, right? And get your mirror to their mirror, parallel, arm's length away, alright? So you see what I mean by mirror to mirror. My mirror is next to their mirror, right? So now I'm gonna adjust my mirror down just like I would do on the right side. Again, if you're comfortable, you don't have to. And again, at this point, you're not on the test. So if you tap the curb just a little bit, it's not a big deal. Just make sure it's not a sharp curve. Sometimes there could be a piece of metal sticking out, or the curb could be jagged or something, and if you hit the curb it could mess up your tire. Alright, but if it's a nice normal smooth curb and you just tap it lightly, it's not really a big deal. Right? You don't want to drive up on the curb and get up on the sidewalk for sure. But you know, just to make sure, I'm gonna adjust my mirror. So I'm gonna put my mirror down so I can, you know, it's gonna be hard for you, but I just want to see the outline of my tire. All right? I'm not gonna see the whole tire. All right, and then I'm gonna try to back up so I can get the back of this door to the back of their car and get my mirror to point to their door handle, right? Like to the back part of the door handle. So I'm gonna put the car in reverse. I'm signaling left, gear, signal, wheel is straight because I'm going back, and I have to look around me and make sure. See, this car is coming. I want to make sure I'm not getting in anybody's way because they have the right of way, right? So now I'm clear, and I'm gonna come back. I'm looking behind me mostly, and I'm gonna get my mirror to line up with their door handle. And now the back of my door is at their tail light. The back of my back door is at their tail light right there. Right? Now I'm gonna do my one turn to the left. All right, one turn. So this is the center position of my wheel with the spoke down like this, right? And now I'm gonna come in nice and easy, and I'm making sure nothing is coming around me. All right. So I'm coming in now until my mirror is at the edge of their car, and when I feel my bumper is at a 45, when my bumper is at the curb and the front of my car is at a 45-degree angle, right? So right about here. So from my angle, the mirror is pointing at the edge of the car, right? So now I'm gonna turn the wheel all the way to the right this time, right? You know, if I was parking on the right side, it would be one turn to the right and then all the way left. But I'm parking on the left side, so it's one turn to the left and then all the way right. So, and again, you nearly lock the wheel. You don't want to fully lock the wheel for your car. And again, I'm looking behind me. All right, so I want to look directly behind me and make sure I'm not hitting anybody. No car came up behind me, no bicycle, no pedestrian. All right, and as every once in a while, as I'm doing that, I'm looking over here to make sure my tire is not gonna hit the curb. All right, so it's kind of hard to see from this angle. Let me see if I put the mirror in more. Maybe it'll be easier for you to see. It's harder for me to see. A little easier for you to see. So you can see the tire right there. All right. So, or you can see where the wheel well is, and you want to make sure the tire doesn't actually hit the curb. All right. You know, like I said, if you tap it lightly, it's not a big deal. So now my tire is about to touch the curb, but I'm not completely straight yet, right? So not a big deal. I just put the car in drive, and then I'm gonna turn the wheel all the way to the left, all right? Almost lock it, but not completely. And then I'm just gonna come in nice and slow until the car is straight, all right? So I'm using the car in front of me and the curb next to me, all right, to see when I'm straight, all right? So now it looks like I'm pointing directly at this car, and if you look in the mirror here, all right, just another inch. So that space now, that space between the car and the curb should be a rectangle. It was a triangle before, but now it's a rectangle. That's how you know you're straight. And then you always finish it off by you just put the car in park, you put the wheel back in the center. You don't want to leave your wheels turned out. So I had turned it all the way left to come forward and left. So center is back to the right. All right, make sure the wheel is centered. All right, and in this case, I like to pull up my brake. I will also just remember to go ahead and put my mirror back to normal, so I don't have to do it later. All right, so I'm just gonna adjust my mirror to driving position, which, if you remember, is the door handle for the back door in the lower inside corner of your mirror from your normal driving position, right? Normal, from your normal driving position. So you want to see it just like that, pretty much, right? Door handle of the back door in the lower inside corner of the mirror, where you can just see a little bit of the back of your car. And you don't want to have to lean to see it like this. You want to be able just to sit normally and see it like that. That's how you return it back to normal driving position, right? All right, and I like to pull up my parking brake to support the transmission. All right, and that's that. You know, that's how you park on the left side. From Blue Steel Auto School, you know, I hope everything is going well for you and continues to go well. And please subscribe, you know, request notifications and comment. All right, ask questions. That's how we know what to do next. All right, and that's how you know what's coming. Right, so take care. Ken K from Blue Steel Auto School.